Well, tell me, oh, buddy boy, is this really another day?
Yes, sir.
Why, it's the Hex and Harry Show, and I'm Herx.
And I'm Harry.
My partner, Harry Lyons, is the noted Honolulu advertiser, cartoonist, and bon vivant.
And my partner, Bob Herkes, is the editor and publisher of the noted sheet, The Billfish Bowl, and also a very well-known saloon keeper.
And the whole mess is brought to you by those magnificent men and their flying machines.
That's right, Bob. That's why we've hired at tremendous expense, as you know, this 101-piece Royal Hawaiian Band to play those magnificent men and their flying machines.
Let's hear them right now.
And that's just to remind you that Johnny Peacock and his crew down at Royal Hawaiian Air Service are indeed that magnificent men and their flying machines. They've got new up-to-date equipment. They've got beautiful Cessna 310s. They've got daredevil pilots that'll give you the tightest implement turns, loop-to-loops, and spirals of any pilots you've ever seen. I'm only kidding, actually, Bobby.
Well, I should hope so.
They've got real experienced pilots, and they're very knowledgeable about the islands. They'll take you on a wonderful tour all around by way of Point Barrow, Alaska, Yucatan, anywhere you want to go. Honduras,
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur, they'll get you there, but they'll get you there safe and sound. And that's why tourists and cow-miners alike like to fly with those magnificent men and their flying machines.
And let's hear it again
The
for
Royal
Johnny Big
Hawaiian Air Service, and that's 259-775.
And of course, Harry, this is also brought to you by In Around Resorts, owners and operators of the Kona Inn, the Kauai Surf, the Naniloa, and of course, like we mentioned last night, the Kuala Lumpur Biltmore.
Right.
And I think tonight we have a fantastic guest who knows probably nothing about fishing, but that's the way our show goes. Harry, will you introduce him?
Well, Bob, last night, as you remember, we witnessed a pretty fantastic show. It was a production of The Drunkard, and it was done by Richard Boone's players, I believe it's the Kona community players, and the guy who played the interlocutor in The Drunkard, the man who introduced it and ended the show, was absolutely a smash with the audience. He had them on their feet cheering, and he was great. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce him now.
I thought he was smashed.
His name is Manuel Takabushi Fang Ho Kaumanua. And I wonder if he'd be kind enough to come to the microphone right now.
Very happy to do so, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here this evening. It is with a great deal of pride that I stand in front of you this evening to address you. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. What was the name again?
This is the Billfish tournament.
Oh.
Billfish.
Billfish, yes. Very well. Yo, Mr. Fish, I'm happy to know you, man. And his name is...
My name is Charlie.
Charlie Fish. You follow from the Opello family down on Hawkeye, right?
They're cousins.
Oh, I see. You fellow look a little familiar.
The nose is a little bit different.
Well, not so much. You fellow got to put a little flesh on the bone there.
But seriously, this is a contest?
Well, I don't know about that. What is the question in the first place?
This is, what do you think about this year's Billfish tournament?
Billfish tournament. Billfish tournament. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you the facts as I see them right here before me this evening, without going into a vast amount of research, I would like to tell you unequivocally the Kaumanua position is just exactly this. What is the question?
May I interrupt your... Mr.
I know he's so good. You see that applause was so deafening. So deafening. I know he's so good. My earbone is stuck. Excuse me.
Yeah, why do we keep interrupting? That's what
Mr. Kaumanua, are you presently in political office, or are you seeking office now?
Well, that is a very good question, sir. At the present time, I am at liberty. I am at liberty to avail my services to the entire voting public of the great state of Hawaii.
Does that mean that you were defeated for public office in the last election?
You have an unfortunate choice of words, my friend. Trouble with you fellas, you learn how to speak English. If you learn how to speak English the way he spoke, you fella would be more circumspect.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
I was going to ask Senator Kaumanua how he felt about the scoring in this year's Billfish tournament.
I always feel very happy to keep score. I have found in my many years of political office, if you're running for office, somebody must keep score and count the votes.
I think that's a magnificent attitude to have.
Oh, I think so.
And what do you need to keep score?
Well, I'm an expert at this if you would like to know. First thing
Yes,
fella
right.
got have, find out one intelligent person, preferably one who can write.
Well, that makes sense.
A
Yeah.
dependable person of the same political affiliation as you.
Well, that makes sense too.
One who will take orders.
That makes more sense.
Now, if this fella can write, you find him one pencil. The best thing you can have is a pencil.
One?
One. One only pencil, one only sheet paper. The bigger the better. The best thing you fella gotta do is keep track.
Oh, this big tournament. That's why you need
Big tournament, big paper.
Oh,
keep
I
track.
see.
Write them down, no miscue.
How come you don't need big pencil?
Well, in that case, I think, fella, if the budget can afford it, and you know the cow manure stand on budget, I will not needlessly squander the public funds.
That's very.
However, if you can afford 2 pencils, so much the better.
Well, that's very admirable, Senator. And I was wondering, I've heard tales from up and down the Kona coast of your prowess as a fisherman. I wondered, could you tell us any stories that have happened when you've been out fishing? Have you caught any large marlin or tuna or anything of that sort?
Well, boys, let's go off the record for a minute here.
Yes, this is off the record. Senator.
Oh, of course. We don't have anybody listening.
I'd like to tell you fella a couple things in confidence.
Okay,
now.
now we all get close down to...
There's a small
together
little
here.
village down the coast called Middle Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Get a lot of kumu over there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not one of these big trollers, but I'm a kumu snapper.
Ooh, yeah.
For many years, I've been snapping a kumu down Middle Lee. That's the best hole in the whole coast.
In Middle Lee.
Middle Lee. They got a couple kumu over there.
Holy broken
That
heart.
is well delicious.
Oh, boy. Well, you know, the other night we had a discussion on trolling speeds, Senator Kaumanu. And Mr. Lyons, of course, here is a noted troller. And he trolled through the bar at a tremendous speed.
Oh, I was a witness to that outrage.
Well, tell me, did you
Oh,
pick up
that
any of
was
that?
terrible. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
reprehensible.
What speed you troll at?
Boy, this guy was going through there, I tell you. He wasn't going through the place trolling. He was kind of lurching through the place. And it was staggering all kind of stagger courses. That's very bad. Tangle up the line. Confuse the kumu.
Oh yeah, all the fishermen confused, that's for sure.
If I was this guy, I confine myself to hunting. This guy would make a great deer hunter.
Deer hunter, eh?
Deer hunter. The kind of deers you fella hunt is down Colacao Avenue, my wife key. Give them.
This fishing, Mr. Senator Kaumanu, this is a fishing program. Our audience here.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This fella got no business trolling like that. That bugger no troll. He lurch
Oh, I see.
and chum the area with money. That's terrible.
What?
Well, Senator,
He chumps the area.
Chum the area. I see it, boy. Every time throwing out the money over here. Look at me. Go ahead. Then he lurched through the school like that. That's terrible.
Senator, if I could order, Senator, if we could, Senator, if we could get back to the subject of fishing.
That's what we was talking about. What's the matter with you fella? You fella look at he's so good too.
I'd like to bring here.
I got him with a wax.
How do you know about these programs?
I'd like to bring up a very controversial issue here in Hawaii, and that is the small boat harbor. I understand that either you or some of the people in your administration have been promising a small boat harbor to the people here, and it has not been forthcoming. Now, how do you stand on that?
I stand foursquare as always. In front every problem. I know that's the issue. Never happened in my whole life. I would like to lay the entire blame for this entire thing on top of the present incumbents inside the administration, at present in office in Honolulu today in the state of Hawaii. Whatever.
What's that mean?
Is that because you're out of office?
I mean, that's not my fault.
Oh, I see. Very sorry about that. Tell me, what about the problem we had today with the boat that allegedly was stolen by a marlin? Yesterday.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday, that's right.
Well, I would just like to answer one question around here. Who is fishing for who?
Well,
The marlins is fishing the boats or the boats is fishing the marlins?
sometimes we think the marlin winning, you know.
Only up to you.
I understand that there's been a possibility of some sneaky play there. Have you heard anything about that in the tournament? We wouldn't go so far as to call it cheating, but I believe the word in private conversation used was skullduggery.
Well, to tell you the truth, gentlemen, the only sneaky play and skullduggery I have observed at this time have happened after the tournament closed down for the night.
Oh, yeah, we're familiar with that.
I don't like mentioning no names.
No, I wish you wouldn't on this program.
Oh, yeah,
I guess about it, but I would like to know.
oh, yeah. I'm glad we caught him just in time there, Harry, because, we might have had a problem. Well, tell me about the techniques of fishing live bait here in Kona, Mr. Kamanua. Do you have any important things to say about that?
Live bait. Well, again, in confidence, gentlemen, in my many years,
Would you like to, in confidence,
This is off the record.
off the record?
young Kumu is
Oh.
the best live bait.
Well, as far as a fishing show, Eric, maybe we ought to really tell our audience who this gentleman is, or if we're still on the air.
Yes, if we're still on the air, I'd like to tell the people who this really is. This guy's name is a fabulously talented guy named Kent Bowman, and he's an executive with Castle and Cook, and it doesn't exactly run the port of Kauai High, but he's a very big
Fishes
fan.
there.
Fishes there, and I believe
Ties
he's
the
director of the terminal.
No, he ties the barges up. And really,
Ties the barges up, works on there, carries the sugar on his back.
well,
or
you
something.
throw the anchor too?
But he's a lot better known as the star of one of the stars of Hula Records. And as a matter of fact, I think somewhere back there in this amazing audience we have here, we saw the guy who
Will somebody
takes care.
please say something nice about Kamanua?
Yeah, well, this is Don McDermott, and it's a real pleasure to tell you that I just witnessed a fantastic thing at the Drunkard, and Kent, incidentally, Kent Bowman, yeah, you heard me, Kent just introduced, actually, a brand new album that he's got coming out in about 30 days.
Is
And
there
it
a
was
title on that, Don?
Yeah, it is. It's incidentally, it's got a great cover by a beautiful
I
man.
was trying to feed him that line.
Never mind, it's there.
There you go.
Harry Lyons did a magnificent jacket for us. He's got a beautiful touch with Kalmanu, of course, because he's so familiar with the individual. Anyway, we'll have a new album, and thank you so much for your aloha and spirit for having us up here.
And our friends in Radio Land, you must know that this is the most fantastic, factual fishing show ever produced in the world, I suppose. Did we make a mistake and talk about fish tonight, Harry?
No, I don't think we had fish in there at all. We got into hunting, trolling, and everything else, but I don't think we got into very many fish.
I wonder if there's any chance at all that we could talk to a marlin before we threw. What do you think? Huh? Suppose we dropped it into the ocean and maybe get one word from a fish.
See, I don't know how we do that, to tell you the truth.
Well, let's just think about it. Let's try it, okay? And here we go to Marlin headquarters.
I'm real sorry, gentlemen, but the Marlin just left. This is Ken Bowman, and I would like really very much to thank a magnificent audience that appreciated the show the other night. I'd like to also say that I have been flying with Johnny Peacock and his magnificent men. They have taught me to fly. They're a wonderful outfit. And I would like to say, man, like I can fly. And I'd like to say that the magnificent men and their flying machines of Royal Hawaiian Air Service are a real benefit to us guys here in West Hawaii. Aloha no.
And Harry Bailey, once again, they've let us on the air. And as you know, this is the Herx and Harry show. You have a word for us, old buddy.
Well, I just want to thank Kent Bowman and Don McDermott for being with us, and until tomorrow night, then.
Yes, I'm Herx.
And I'm Harry.
And we'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot for listening.
Okay, good night.